Col Takbright was born on Uquine, a peaceful world found in the colonies region of the galaxy. When the Galactic Empire took power, it wasn't long before neighboring worlds were exploited and decimated under the boot of the new regime. Takbright saw what was going on in the galaxy and knew it was just the beginning. While his world was still untouched, he didn't think it right to sit around while others suffered. Takbright left Uquine with a handful of credits, a bag of clothes, and a strong determination to make a difference in the growing battle against the Empire. Takbright's first post with the Alliance to restore the Republic was at Base 1 on Yavin 4. Despite his noble beginning, Takbright quickly gained a reputation for being hot-headed and garrulous. He was constantly at odds with his fellow pilots, especially Puck Nako. For more on Nako, check out my transmission all about Red Squadron. Despite Takbright's personality, you couldn't deny his piloting skills. He flew a T-65B X-Wing starfighter with Red Squadron. He had a passing resemblance to fellow Red Squadron pilot Wedge Antilles, who was loved by his fellow pilots, earning Takbright the nickname of Fake Wedge, which he hated. By 0 BBY, Takbright had set himself apart from the fake Wedge joke by proving his skills as a pilot in various raids and recon missions. Garvin Dries, Red leader of the time, praised him for his skills and bravery. Unfortunately, the rebellion was severely under-equipped for this fateful year in galactic history. They didn't have enough ships for all their pilots to partake in the Battle of Scarif, and Takbright was forced to stay at Alliance HQ. His spot went to Pedron Gall, who flew under the call sign Red 5. Gall was killed in action. Almost immediately after Scarif, the Empire's mobile battle station was looming closer and closer to Alliance command. General Jan Dodonna called all rebel personnel to a briefing. Takbright was seated next to newcomer Luke Skywalker. As Dodonna explained the exploit in the Death Star, Takbright, never able to bite his tongue, yelled at the general that the plan was impossible. Skywalker shot Takbright down.
Well, that's impossible, even for a computer.
It's not impossible. I used to bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back home. They're not much bigger than 2 meters.
Hey, can I talk to you privately for a second?
Sure.
That was unnecessary.
What's the problem?
Well, you just kind of called me out in front of everybody back there.
I was just making a point.
I know, but you just kind of sandbagged me in front of everyone we know.
Sandbagged you?
In front of all of our friends. Yeah, you sandbagged me.
I sandbagged you.
You sandbagged me,
well,
yes.
Here I am trying to help you.
You know what? I don't need your kind of help, all right? Have a great assault, jerk.
After the briefing, Nako dressed down Takbright for his outburst. Takbright wasn't fazed. He was more hopeful about the attack after Skywalker's calm assurance that it could be done. His relative good mood soon turned to rage. Red Leader told Takbright that he was, once again, grounded. Skywalker performed extremely well in flight simulators, he had just rescued Princess Leia, he aided in the return of the stolen Death Star plans, and was vouched for by Biggs Darklighter, someone who was much better liked on Red Squadron. Skywalker would fly under the call sign of Red 5. Takbright threw a full-on tantrum in the ready room. Wedge Antilles calmed the man down, reminding him of how important unity and camaraderie among pilots was, especially given the all-or-nothing stakes of the imminent battle. Takbright composed himself and watched the battle unfold from the war room on Yavin 4. He was unnerved as his fellow pilots were killed off in rapid succession. Before long, Red Squadron was down to Skywalker, Darklighter, and Antilles. Antilles' ship took a hit, ruining his micro-maneuvering controls. Skywalker urged Wedge to back off from space, and Takbright urged his friend to get to safety from the ground. After Darklighter was killed, Wedge was making his way back to the trench, attempting to put himself between Skywalker and his pursuers, to buy the rebellion's last hope more time. Wedge didn't need to sacrifice himself as Han Solo and Chewbacca arrived in the Millennium Falcon to cover Luke. Skywalker made the shot and destroyed the Death Star. When the few remaining rebel pilots returned to Base 1, Takbright made a fundamental change inside himself. He finally realized what it truly meant to support your comrades and what selfless acts meant. Most of the Alliance was celebrating Skywalker, who made the fateful shot. Takbright singled out Antilles and thanked him for attempting his selfless act. I couldn't find what came of Takbright after the Battle of Yavin, but between his piloting skills and newfound attitude, I'm sure he continued to serve the rebellion and was an asset to his fellow pilots. Col Takbright first appeared in Episode 4, A New Hope. He was played by actor Colin Higgins, who was originally cast as Wedge Antilles. Higgins wasn't ready for the pressure of the movie and had a hard time with his lines. After one day, he was replaced with Dennis Lawson, who would take over the role of Wedge. Higgins' one surviving scene made it into the movie, and this swap-out is where fans came up with the nickname of Fake Wedge. The name Col Takbright was first defined in the short story Duty Roster by Jason Fry in From a Certain Point of View, a collection of short stories celebrating the 40th anniversary of A New Hope. This story also took the fan-created name and brought it into canon. Infamous Lucasfilm Story Group member Pablo Hidalgo was instrumental in uncovering the details behind this character. Check out this transmission next for all you'd ever want to know about Red Squadron.